it's not just this guy. There's somebody even slower behind him. Or in front of him. Oh, boy. I want to go fast. What's up, everybody? I thought I'd make a video today talking about the 2014 Harley-Davidson Dyna Switchback. This is the bike that I'm riding right now. If you haven't seen the video as to how we came upon this bike and how all of a sudden we went from Super Duke to Harley-Davidson, make sure you go back and watch. I'll leave a link for it right here in this video so you can go straight to it. But yeah, we're just cruising, and that's the whole thing. I think probably if I was going to say something else besides what I've already said about making the switch from the Super Duke, the KTM, to this bike, it's the experiment with the Super Duke was successful. I had fun on that bike. It was great to ride. It was reliable. I loved owning it. There wasn't anything wrong with it. It's just that cruising is just more my style. I just as much as anybody else, I like getting out on the twisties and carving it up in the canyon or the mountain roads. Absolutely, I love doing that, but not to the extent of having the Super Duke and justifying the Super Duke. Because I just don't ride that aggressively. I'd be out there on the Super Duke in the mountains and just seeing guys leaning it over, which that's great. If you got the skill to do that, then more power to you. I didn't have the skill, and I didn't have. Really, it came down to doing track days and trying to acquire that skill and practice it. I didn't have the time or the money. And so that was another factor that went into that whole decision of going back to a cruiser. So here we are. But I wanted to talk today specifically about this bike, about the Dyna Switchback, because obviously, if you've seen videos, the introduction video to the Switchback will have some of that carved into this video. This is not a stock bike. This is not a stock Harley-Davidson Switchback. It's tough to find a bike that's this old that you can just get the way it was from the factory, right? You're not going to get a stock Harley-Davidson from 2014 or whatever year it might be. If it's in the 20 teens, someone's done something to that bike. They didn't just buy it and keep it the way it is. It's kind of the nature of Harley, right? The Harley tax. You're going to change the exhaust. You're gonna slap a fairing on it. You're gonna do whatever you feel like you're doing. If you feel like it is what is more you and what the kind of riding that you want to do on that bike. So if you can hear, this is not a stock Harley exhaust. That's the first thing I'll talk about, because it's one of the things that I absolutely love about this bike is the Bassani 2-in-1 exhaust. It just sounds mean. It looks great. The chrome exhaust is cool. I personally actually like a blacked out bike, but for me, like Harley Davidson's, if you're going for that classic look, I grew up loving muscle cars, going to car shows with my dad, and chrome was just something that I love to look at, and it's no different as I get as I get older. I find myself going back to chrome and loving that classic look, and that's how we arrived here. But you got that nice chrome Bassani 2-in-1 exhaust. Sounds super nice, super mean, and some of the other things obviously that have been done. We have these 10-inch risers. I'm not sure what the handlebars are. These are not the stock handlebars. The stock handlebars on the Switchback are a lot like the lowrider handlebars that come back at you, the sweep back handlebars, with about a 3-inch riser. So if I had the stock ones, we'd be like around here. If you can see that. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but that's where we'd be if I had the stock handlebars on here. So we've got the risers, different handlebars. we've got this fairing on here, and I can't remember the brand of the fairing, but it's a slick looking fairing. I really like the look of it, but I also like the way it looks without the fairing. You might see me when I'm just cruising around town without the fairing, because no, that turn signal's turned out. That's weird. You might see me cruising around town without the fairing because it looks cool. It's a little like the new Softail Fat Boy, like the big bulbous headlamp. Looks cool to me. It has this flake in the paint, so at first glance you might think this is a black bike, but I think you can probably see in the video that this is not black. It is black at first glance, but it has this gold flake in it, and it has this burgundy tint to it. It is just gorgeous. I think this bike just absolutely. This is the stock paint job, but we're just talking about the look of the bike and how clean it is and how stylish it is. But we want to talk about the extras. Besides the exhaust, we've got the Vance & Hines Fuel Pack 3 that has tuned the bike to the new exhaust. It has the 103. It has also a K&N air cleaner that gets you much more air sucked in to the engine than the stock 103, which was what I had on the Fat Bob, than the stock air cleaner. This is just, yeah. So the performance is being tuned by the Fuel Pack 3. Like I said, the fairing isn't stock. Well, one of the things about the fairing is that it is a black fairing, and like under the sun you can see that it doesn't quite color match the bike, but again, it's got color matched saddlebags, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. So also another awesome addition on this bike is the LePera seat. I'll have exact specifications, maybe a link for you guys to buy one if you're looking for a LePera seat. I had a LePera seat on I want to say it was one of my Sportsters, and they're just that nice place of between being soft and firm. At first they feel a little too firm, but once you break it in, it's nice. It's a good firmness for a long ride, in my opinion, and it has a nice back to it too, so it stops me from scooting back, and it also puts if I ever have a passenger on here, nice and high above me, so that they don't have to feel like they're staring at the back of my helmet. Other than that, I think that we're pretty much looking at the rest of this motorcycle as a generally speaking stock. It's got floorboards, which are really nice. And the grips here are a little different than the stock ones. They're a little bit fatter. It's kind of an old vintage look. They are still like a rubbery grip, but they're fatter. I don't mind it. They're open on the end, which I think is strange, but I guess that's kind of the way that they used to be. And I don't plan, because, and you'll see in the future when I release the video of the plan, the grand plan, you'll find out why I'm not going to change anything on this bike. It's just going to be the way it is. But at the same time, that's what the beauty of the Switchback, right? I'm not going to make any changes to it, but at the same time, I can put the saddlebags on it. It's going to give it a different look. I can take the saddlebags, leave the saddlebags on, take the fairing off. That's going to give it a different look. I can take the fairing and the saddlebags off, and that's going to give it a different look. It's a freaking transformer. I traded to get a freaking transformer, and I could not be any happier with a motorcycle. Well, I gotta look at you, because yes, I can be happier with a motorcycle, but that's coming. But guys, that's all I've got. If you guys have questions about the Switchback, leave them in the comments. I will answer whatever I can. Make sure they're bike related, family friendly. We try to keep it that way here on the channel. Whew, love that exhaust. But yeah, if you got questions about the Switchback, got questions about the plans, you gotta wait for that video. Make sure you hit that like button if you like this video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you're gonna want to find out what's coming up and what the grand plan is. What am I doing? What happened to the Super Duke? There's a video for that too. I'm just glad that you're here. I appreciate you. If you've hit that subscribe button, make me even happier. Guys, if you're out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy. And I am